Hello, it's Tony and Chris.
We're back.
And, hopefully you saw our video where we talked about being back, and we just wanted to quickly throw out some entertainment. I'll tell you in just a second, I'm watching a series of movies that in a million years I never thought I would watch, had no interest in them, and my wife convinced me to try them. So if you want to know how much I love Katie, when you hear the movies we're watching, you'll know.
It shocked me.
So that's in just a couple of seconds. Very quickly. And we know that this stuff isn't really topical anymore, but we weren't doing shows when all this stuff happened because we were moving. So super quick, we're going to pop through John Wick 4, all the buzz about John Wick 4. Saw it. It was okay. I just thought, why did they make it so long?
The Continental, the new show, The Continental's coming. I'm excited about that. John Wick 5 is in development.
I don't know. For me, they still haven't topped the first one.
Yep. I'm 100% in that camp.
Okay. Barry ended on HBO. I love that series. I thought it was brilliant. I did not like the ending at all.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I felt very kind of cheated. I just felt like it was it didn't work for me. Succession, also a great show. Ending was good. I mean, I don't know how
it was what it could be. I mean, it describes the business world.
Yeah, I think there were some people who loved it, some people who didn't like the ending, but I think it was about as good as it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
So that was great. The Bear, if you're not watching The Bear.
I'm not yet.
So good. There's 2 seasons of it. We just went back and watched the first season again after we finished the second season, but I highly recommend that. Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
And it was just too intense for me. And what I mean by that is like I had anxiety.
Katie checked beforehand because she was like, I can't there's a certain character said, if they're going to kill him off, I can't watch it. And so she saw that they didn't kill that character off, but that there was a lot of animal action and she didn't want to watch it. So I tried it. And I have to say, I felt the same way the whole time I'm watching. I got some laughs. There were some really enjoyable moments, but I was so disturbed by this underlying storyline that I really couldn't enjoy the movie all the way. And I know it's just, it's fiction. It's not real, but I know that all kinds of stuff like that does happen. So all I could think about the whole time, I mean, I was petting my dogs extra hard, saying,
but how about a shout out for Garth Brooks in a Marvel movie?
If you want to know how big is this guy, Tom Segura, speaking of that, has a new special out, which is hilarious if you like Tom Segura. And there's a lot of people now in the country world who are mad at him because of the beef he and Garth Brooks have got going.
I don't even know what the beef is.
He started a thing on his podcast about nobody's as rich and famous as Garth Brooks without burying some bodies. And so now he's got everybody who is a fan of him commenting on anything that mentions Garth Brooks with "Where are the bodies buried, Garth?"
Oh.
So it's irritating Garth fans and whatever. So that's that. If you haven't seen a movie called Blackberry,
I have not.
It's basically the history of how Blackberries kind of came and went. Really entertaining, and I'm not 100% sure how accurate it is, but we really enjoyed it.
Okay.
So I throw that out there. And so that brings us, I guess, to this movie series that we'll very quickly talk about. When the books came out,
I cannot tell you how sad I am for Tony.
I like fantasy. I love the Lord of the Rings. I didn't get into Game of Thrones. It's hit or miss for me about those kind of stories. I loved Interview with the Vampire, the movie when it first came out. I like monster movies. I'm totally into that. But when the Twilight series came, books and movies, I was like, well, this just isn't for me. This seems like it's a romance thing. It's more of a fantasy, So I never watched it. Never had any intention of watching it. And I felt like my life was just fine. Well, as we were nearing the end of the move, we were still in Knoxville. And I guess Katie just caught me in a weak moment, tired and half drunk, and said, hey.
Well, that's what you have to do to a guy. You have to trick a guy. Get a little booze in him, promise him a little hanky-panky. Something. It's kind of like putting heartworm medicine in a hot dog and giving it to your dog. You got to cover it with something.
You cover it in peanut butter.
Yeah.
Bourbon, whatever it may be to make it go down easier. And that's what she did. And I have to say, the first one, I was like, that's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It is what it is. And second, I felt the same. I think we're up to whatever the third one is. I think the third one's in 2 parts.
I don't know.
And there's a fourth. I don't know how many there are.
The only memory I have of those movies was we were doing all the premieres for them and everything.
Yeah.
And women in their 40s losing their mind at the young guys and being a part of it and taking their daughters and saying, oh, it's for my daughter to enjoy, and women screaming at the theaters and hooting. And I'm sitting there thinking, if a guy went to the Barbie movie and was hooting and hollering at Margot Robbie, everybody be like, oh, what a pig.
Well, and I will say, and as long as we're having confessions here, I have made a choice, because if you watch the movies or you're part of these things, you're either Team Edward or Team Jacob.
Oh, yes, obviously.
And I haven't seen it all the way through, so I don't know what changes are going to come, but at this point, I am 100% Team Jacob. So,
okay.
I don't know if you're on my side. In the comments, let us know, Team Edward, Team Jacob, or you never have seen the movies.
Okay. I have no idea about any of that.
Used to be my life. So anyway, just wanted to catch up on some entertainment we have had the actual time to watch over the last few months.
Please leave in the comments. Are you Team Jacob or Team, who is it, Larry? What was the...
I think it was Three Stooges. Team Mo, Team Larry,
Yeah.
Edward or Jacob.
Edward or Jacob. What?
This would have been a great podcast 15 to 20 years ago.
Exactly.
These movies first.
We got a lot of catching up to do. We're 15 years back.
Super slow and all. All right. Thanks for watching. Be back soon.